If you were to do a Google search for a smooth and or sensual, the top number one search result would be Alex Johns. Alex, Happy New Year. How is 2025 treating you so far?
It's treating me well. I have already failed my New Year's resolution.
Which was what?
To stop being so sensual.
Yeah, you failed that for sure. Yeah. My New Year's resolution was to not have you on the show anymore, but here we are.
You fucking failed that one.
Well, it's just like, I'm like, okay, this is the year. I'm not going to do Alex anymore. I'm not going to do Buster anymore. But then I look around, it's like, there's fucking no one else that will do this shit with me. So it's like, I got to do it. Someone's got to be here to laugh at my jokes.
You can't have peanut butter without jelly. You can't have, it's just...
I think you mean you can't have water without jelly. Am I right?
You're right.
Listeners, I've missed you. Thanks for joining us here on the first main episode of 2025. And for those that might not know, Alex hasn't been on the show in a while, and that's because he's a new baby daddy. Alex, for Christmas, I want to know what your baby's reaction was to the new recording studio I sent him as a gift.
Well, my baby is still a baby. He barely reacts to anything.
Damn, fuck.
He's essentially a potato with the communication skills of an alarm clock.
Wait, we're talking about Dr. Buster or your new baby?
Could be both.
Mm-hmm.
Could be both.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is appreciative of all gifts, and he will soon be a better podcast co-host than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say by the time he's 8 months old, he'll probably do better at list guessing than your fucking ass.
And by 2, he'll be a better host than you.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's true. Well, Baby Johns will be here as a sidekick host someday, but for now we got you. And today you're going to guess a very special list. Do you remember how I opened the show today? What did I say?
New Year's resolutions.
No. Before that, very first thing I said, God, fucking Alex, it was 2 minutes ago. You forgot already? If you were to do a Google search for smooth and or sensual, you'd be number one. And that's because that's a very topical intro written by yours truly. And that intro is because you're going to guess the top 10 Google searches of the year 2024.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, he says.
It was me that mentioned the resolutions, not you. I had an out-of-body experience there.
Out-of-body experience. Usually an out-of-body experience is like something cool
something
or
good?
Surreal or like unbelievable.
Mine is when I'm recording the Tinnish podcast.
I guess that's cool and unbelievable in its own way. Well, Alex, as you might know, Google has a website called Google Trends, and they record in almost real time what the world is searching for. Google uses this data to measure search interest in a particular topic, in a particular place, at a particular time. So all this data comes directly from the source, Google. It's a fun little website to explore, which you can do at trends.google.com. I always take a look at it every year. And every year they publish their year in search report, which shows by country the top trending searches for the year. And here's a quote from their website. Google Trends provides a unique look at what the world is searching for and what it seeks to better understand. Year in Search reveals the breakout questions, moments, and individuals the world searched for throughout the year. These searches reflect specific moments in time and illuminate our shared experiences and cultural events that mattered most around the globe. And today you are guessing the global trending searches for 2024, which is very important because the list would look different if it was US only. This is global searches, the top global trending searches for the entire year 2024. What do you think, Alex?
Sounds fun. I got some questions. Number one, despite being global, would you say this is a little US centric, or is there really nothing that's like US, big US events here? You know what I'm trying to say?
I do. As far as the United States goes, there is only one of the 10 that is like pretty specific to the United States. There's
interesting.
A few others that is US inclusive, but not US specific. And then there's a few others still that would not be on this list if not for it being global.
Okay.
Yep. So is Tennis Podcast, you think, in the top 10?
If it was Equatorial Guinea based, I would imagine it'd probably be number one,
Yeah.
Remember that episode of like the shitty countries that
the shitty countries he says. Do you mean the most corrupt countries? Which I guess, hey, shitty countries.
Yeah, that's the one.
Basically the same thing.
I bet you any of those countries, Tinnish is going to be near the top.
Tennis Podcast globally just outside the top 10 at number 11.
Oh,
If this was
damn.
a top 10-ish list, it'd be included.
Fair, fair.
So, what do you think is on here?
So I know that they had to fudge their numbers a little bit, right? Because if they didn't, a clear number one would be that booty quake from Dr. Buster.
The booty quake.
Right.
Which one?
Exactly. That would be like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're sitting in your apartment and you just feel a little rumble. You quick do a Google search. It's like, hey, what's Dr. Buster's whereabouts? And you learn, oh shit, there was a fucking booty quake to get it today. I didn't know
the thing
that.
about it too is the booty quakes are becoming so frequent and so explosive that now his location is mattering less and less, because you can be further and further away from his coordinates and still feel the it's, you know, the same way people are tracking hurricanes and stuff, bad storms online. They're doing the same thing with the booty quakes.
I'd like somebody to come up with a, you know, tornadoes have like the F1, F2, F3. Hurricanes have some sort of ranking system. I need somebody to get in our Discord and talk about what are the rating systems for Dr. Buster's booty quakes.
I think instead of F1, F2, it's Jiggle 1, Jiggle 2, and Jiggle 3. I don't know, but someone can think of something better than that.
Yeah.
But surely.
Top minds are on this.
Yeah, in the Discord channel. Yes, sir. Okay, so no booty quakes on here.
Okay.
But there are people with large booties on here.
I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm sure something related to Donald Trump is on this list, right?
Okay, yes.
I know you said it's not U.S. centric, but this is a pretty, I don't know, worldwide consequences. I'm going to guess it's probably top 5. Number 4.
Number 6. If you're looking at only United States Google searches, Donald Trump is number 2. The only thing higher than Trump is U.S. election, which are very related, obviously. So Donald Trump is number 6, 45th, soon to be 47th president. I know. Okay. After his first term, scholars and historians ranked him as one of the worst presidents in American history. He lost the 2020 presidential election, but did not concede, falsely claiming through widespread electoral fraud and attempting to overturn the results, including through his involvement in the January 6th Capitol attack. This is all straight from Wikipedia, by the way. In civil proceedings, Trump was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation in 2023 and financial fraud in 2024. In May 2024, he was found guilty of falsifying business records, making him the first U.S. president to be convicted of a felony. He faced more felony indictments related to his interference in the 2020 election and his handling of classified documents, which were conveniently dismissed after his victory in the 2024 election. What timeline is this, Alex? Why are we here? How did we get here? I don't understand it, but we're not going to solve it on this episode.
It all dates back to Harambe. You know?
Not enough people...
They would have let Harambe live. We wouldn't be on this dark timeline, and, you know, here we are. There's a world out there where Harambe is still alive, Donald Trump never became president, and we've probably solved, like, cold fission by now.
Not enough people had their dicks out for Harambe. Is what
exactly.
My dick was out every fucking day. I want to know where your dick was, listener.
I mean, your dick was out regardless.
True.
Harambe or not.
True, but it was definitely pointed in the general direction of Harambe.
Kind of like, you know, how when Muslims pray, they have to point in the direction of
Mecca.
Mecca. It's the same. Your dick just always has to be in the direction.
It was
of
pointed toward Harambe for sure.
Right.
What fucking year was Harambe?
I don't know.
I wonder if, you know, what's the current generation that's coming up now? Remember we did our generations episode?
Yeah, Gen Alpha.
I wonder if they even fucking know about Harambe. But like our generation, that was such a thing. 2016, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
So right around Trump's first election victory. By the way, search interest peaked for Donald Trump in November 2024. No surprise. Although the second peak was in July when he was shot. Allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
The regions. So Google Trends also reports the regions that had the highest spikes in search traffic relative to their population. Number 1, no surprise, United States. Number 2, the future 51st state of America, according to Trump, Canada. And number 3, Ireland. Don't know why.
That's interesting.
And then the last thing Google Trends provides is related queries. So search queries related to Donald Trump. Live election results. Donald Trump assassination attempt. Chase Oliver? I don't know why that last one. Oh, I think he was the Libertarian candidate.
Okay.
I don't know why he got so high on here, though. But that's Donald Trump at number 6.
Okay. You also mentioned U.S. elections. Is that on here as a separate bullet?
Again, on the US only list, it's number 1. On the global list, it is not in the top 10.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Okay. Um, I would love this to be on the list. I'm sure it's on the list for the U.S., but probably not elsewhere. The Luigi CEO killer guy.
Yeah. Man, that's a great guess. I hadn't even thought of that. He's not on here.
All right.
Good guess.
Fair
Good
enough.
guess.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
no
What?
Luigi, Mario's brother either. Surprisingly.
Okay, fair. Princess Peach, Toad, none of that.
Okay, there's a hint. Princess.
Princess. Did a princess die? Princess Diana, she's been dead for a while, right?
Bro, she's been dead for almost 30 years.
Okay, fair.
But
Princess
this is, in that family.
fuck, what's her name? Charlotte, the little one? Does she do something cute?
Catherine, Princess of Wales. Also Kate Middleton, better known as Kate Middleton.
Is she like the queen now? No, because the old guy's still. Sorry,
There are people screaming at you right now that take this so seriously.
From the British monarchy. Okay, so the old bitch died, and her son is the king now.
Yes.
And Kate is the king's son's wife.
Correct.
Okay, so she will be queen when the old dude dies.
No.
Philip? Is he Philip?
No.
No?
Old dude, when the old dude dies, one of the princes will be prince. Or wait, I guess I see what you're saying. One of them will become king.
One of them will be king, and then she will be his queen.
Yeah,
right?
But I don't know which one becomes king. Is it the older one?
Well, yeah, it'd be the older one. Because didn't they like excommunicate the younger one because he married Meghan Markle or something? This has become a monarchy podcast, everybody, with the two dudes that are most qualified to talk about it.
It is William will be the next king. And William is the husband of Kate Middleton, who we're talking about here.
Right.
Also known as Catherine, Prince of Wales. She's number 10, and there's a very specific reason why she's ranked so high. I'll get to that in a minute.
Didn't she like fucking disappear or something?
Yes.
And like no one knew what happened to her?
Yes. And
did we ever figure out what happened?
All kinds of conspiracy theories were born out of this. Like people were like analyzing photographs to like point to like she wore the same outfit here as in this other photo a year ago. Like, yeah.
Well, and didn't like the monarchy clearly they got caught photoshopping something with like to prove that she's alive, but like it was a Photoshop or something.
I mean, I don't know if it was definitively a Photoshop or not. That was definitely what was said.
Yeah. Okay.
But Catherine, or Kate Middleton, I'm just going to call her Kate from here on out. Her relationship with the media has been closely scrutinized, particularly regarding her efforts to maintain privacy amidst significant media attention and public interest. The media have even referred to her impact on British and American fashion as the Kate Middleton effect. So peak interest happened in March 2024, and that's because prior to that, she had disappeared, and all these conspiracy theories that we were just talking about happened. But finally, on March 22nd, through a video message filmed by BBC Studios, and that's not Big Black Hawk, that post-operative test had found cancer, and the palace said she had been undergoing chemo since February.
Oh no!
So that's why search peaked at that time. Finally, in October, which is 7 months after her announcement, she accompanied Prince William on a visit to meet families of the victims of the 2024 Southport stabbing, marking her first official public engagement since the completion of her chemo treatment. So she's on the mend, I guess.
Good. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know anything about her.
Top regions that had this was a trending search was Ireland, Italy, and Spain. And listen, here we go.
Not the United Kingdom?
I know.
Okay. Continue.
I don't know. Don't ask me, bro. Related queries. What cancer does Kate Middleton have? Kate Middleton abdominal surgery. Kate Middleton photo editing. And all this to say, like, who gives a fuck? It's none of your fucking business. Like, I mean, I get that it's their business in the fact that she's a public figure in the monarchy, the royal family. But at the same time, just who gives a fuck? Leave her alone.
Celebrity culture, man.
But it's like on another level with the royal family. It's fucking stupid. Anyway.
I remember, speaking of their daughter, Charlotte, I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
There was a fucking post a few years ago that was like, Princess Charlotte has fluent in 2 languages at the age of whatever 5 or something like that. Like, ooh, wow, like big deal. And then like everyone's like, yeah, so is like every kid of immigrants. You don't like praise them for it.
Exactly. So, where do you want to go next, Alex?
Okay, so that was good. That was good.
It was fine. I'd say it was fine.
Anything space related? There wasn't any
No,
crazy
you're giving humans too much credit. All these searches are much more
mostly like pop culture stuff.
Mundane, yeah, like ultimately unimportant shit.
Any like natural disasters?
No. I mean, there's some of that on the country specific list, but not on global. I'm gonna give you
how about sports?
Yeah, that's where I was going next. This list, annoyingly, is dominated by sports. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 are sports related, and we're gonna knock them all out at once because
any American football?
No
American football. Okay.
These
any that are not soccer. Okay, because I don't know shit about soccer. Fuck, I don't know what happened in sports this year.
You know less about this sport than you do soccer.
Like cricket?
Yeah, cricket. So we have
just give it to me.
We have, let's see, I think we have at least 2. No, we have 3 cricket related searches. We're just gonna knock them all out at once. So we'll start with number 7, India versus Bangladesh. The Bangladesh cricket team toured India in September and October to play against the India cricket team. India won the 2-match series 2-0. Bangladesh, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar were the top regions here. Some related searches were ICC Men's T20 World Cup warm-up matches, and Nitish Jumar Reddy and Akash Deep. Look, I know you and I don't know fucking anything I just said, but there's listeners out there that are nodding along.
I mean, it tracks. 2 countries with very high populations with sport that's super big over there. I get it, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, why do they have to play with all these? Okay, I was gonna make an insect joke, but I'm just gonna move on because I can't. That's number 7, India versus Bangladesh.
I get it because cricket. Okay.
Oh, you didn't get that till just now?
Yeah. I was thinking like racism or something.
No. Insect. But cricket.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Cricket.
I'm sure
that's a wholesome joke.
Every other country in the world is rolling their eyes at me right now because cricket is a thing everywhere but America, pretty much.
Yeah. Number
4, India versus England. The England cricket team toured India from January to March to play 5 test matches. I'm assuming test matches are like exhibitions or whatever. And it's still enough to make it the 4th most searched thing in the entire world this year. So who do you think won, India or England?
India.
India won like 4-1.
Pros over there.
Yep. This peaked in February. Obviously, India, big region for this. Nepal as well. Related queries. Bear with me, folks. Sarfaraz Khan, Shoaib Bashir, Akash Deep. Listeners of the show. And let's knock out the last cricket. It's number 3, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Did you DVR that, Alex?
No, I missed that.
Yeah. The ICC Men's T20 World Cup is a biennial T20I cricket tournament organized by the International Cricket Council, or ICC. India are the current champions, having won their 2nd title. The next edition of the tournament will take place in India and Sri Lanka in 2026. This peaked in May 2024 with the top regions for trending in those regions being Nepal, Afghanistan, Barbados. So random.
Yeah.
That was number 3, Alex. So believe it or not, we're halfway through this list. We're moving fast, but don't worry, I have some mini lists here to help us out. So
okay. Any Formula 1?
No.
The
rest of these sports are soccer.
Okay. Just give them to me. I don't know shit.
Number 2 is the UEFA European Championship. It is the primary football tournament organized by the Union of European Football Associations. The most recent championship was held in Germany and was won by Spain, who lifted a record 4th European title after beating England 2-1 in the final in Berlin. This peaked in June 2024. Ireland, Georgia, the country, not the state, and Maldives were some top trending regions, and some related queries. Georgia versus Portugal. Championship Knockout, and Copa America standings, which takes me to number 1. And I'm just rushing through these because me and Alex don't know shit about this shit. Number 1, Copa America, the top men's football tournament contested among national teams from South America. It is the oldest still running continental football competition. Competition determines the champions of South America. And since the 1990s, teams from North America and Asia have also been invited. The current champion, Argentina, who won their 16th title, the most of any team. Some related queries that show you some of the big matches: Venezuela versus Canada, Argentina versus Canada, Colombia versus Panama. That's number 1. In the entire world, a world with the presidential election, a year in a world with the presidential election. There was other presidential elections. There was the shit that happened in Venezuela. There was the shit in some other Eastern European countries with some shady elections. There was
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia. There was the assassination attempt. There was the war in Ukraine. There's the war in Israel. There's all this shit. There's probably natural disasters I'm not thinking about. But nope.
Astronauts got stuck in space.
Tennis Podcast had all kinds of episodes come out. But no, number 1, the stupid fucking football tournament. No offense to people that like soccer, but it just blows my mind.
Are we out of sports?
We're out of
ball
sports.
Land?
Yeah, sports ball land is done.
Oh, yeah. How many do I have left? I've not even been keeping track.
Okay, you just need numbers 9, 8, and 5. And I lied. There is one more sports thing, but it's like a bigger than just a regular sport thing that you could guess.
Does it have to do with like that soccer player that moved to the U.S. and like got part ownership of the team he plays for?
No.
Messi?
Nope.
No? Okay. I think it's Messi. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, moving on. What sport is this vaguely adjacent to?
All sports.
You might have to either keep leading me there or just give it to me.
When you find out, you're going to be like, oh, of course. Me and Dr. Buster did an episode.
Well, the fucking Olympics.
Yeah.
The fucking Olympics.
The Olympics.
Okay. Yeah.
Why isn't that above the fucking Copa America? Like, I don't get that.
I forgot all about the Olympics.
I didn't watch a single second of it.
I watched a little bit. I like that the balance beam dude. You know what I'm talking about? No? Oh, he's like an American treasure. Steven, I think was his name. He's an electrical engineer. No, he's an electrical engineer at some like big time college, and he's like specializes in like the balance beam gymnastics, but he's a big fucking nerd. He's got these big old glasses and like talks about all his nerdy hobbies. Anyway, he like fucking killed it for the US men's gymnastics team, and then he went on Dancing with the Stars afterwards, and he made it all the way to the finals, and he was so wholesome. So I'm a big Steven guy.
Hey, he sounds great. That's good that he made it onto that show, because something that is talked about often is like, you know, the Olympics, making it to the Olympics and winning the Olympics is your whole life. Every second of your life is spent for that moment. And once it's done, you're still in your 20s or younger. And now what?
Yeah.
You know?
And like most of these Olympians are like going back to their like service jobs, you know, like you can't make a living usually off of winning the Olympics.
Which,
unless you're like Simone Biles or someone like huge.
Yeah, like
huge famous.
Very select few over several years, you know, make that. But the Olympics is on here. What number do you think it is?
Probably the higher one of the one I have left. I don't
higher
know.
As in closer to 1, or higher as in
closer to 1? Yeah.
You were wrong, idiot. It's number 9. The Olympics.
So fucking stupid.
Low, right?
Yeah.
The 2024 Summer Olympics, branded as Paris 2024, was an international multi-sport event held from July 26th to August 11th in France. The United States topped the medal table. USA. USA. Do you hear them? Do you hear the listeners chanting USA? Yeah. USA. They won for the 4th consecutive Summer Games and 19th time overall. 40 gold and 126 total medals. The Paris Olympics broke all-time records for ticket sales, more than 9.5 million tickets sold. And what I want to know is, why can't some of that money go toward like a pension for these athletes like after the Olympics? But what do I know? Some top regions where this was trending was Australia, New Zealand, Ireland. Ireland shows up a lot. I don't know why.
They be Googling.
Some related queries: Olympic schedule and results, the gymnastics rings, and medal count 2024. By the way, cheap plug, episode 274, me and Buster did the top 10 sports in the Olympics with the most U.S. medal winners. That was episode 274. So, Alex, What Olympic sport are you trying to compete in for the next Summer Olympics?
Remember leading up to the Olympics, the French people are like mad at their government right now, and have been for a while, and they were going to protest the Olympics by like shitting in the river that they were going to swim in.
Hang on, is
And
this?
so like
Did they like hear our recurring joke about shitting in the streets and
no,
they
this
decided
is
to take it literally?
completely their own thing. Like
Okay,
it was like a campaign to just continue, because the river historically has been very dirty, but it's a very historic river. So like Paris was doing a bunch of work to clean it up for the race, and the citizens, to like say fuck you government, are like continuously shitting and dumping shit in the river to
that's amazing.
yeah, to fight back. I assume they swam in it, so I assume the government won. But that's the sort I would be participating in, is shitting in the river.
Oh, not the swimming, but the actually
No,
shitting
no,
in
no.
the river.
Actually, shitting in the river prior to the competition.
Now, would you like
Um,
hang over the edge and shit directly into it, or would you collect into a bucket over time and
I
then?
would. So like, there's got to be like little ladders that kind of go up and down from the water
Sure.
to the street or whatever. I would get on the ladder and then just kind of like drop my pants and just kind of hang there. You
Okay,
know.
sure. I don't know how I missed that, and I don't know how we haven't talked about that until now. But that's amazing. That belongs higher on this Google trending searches than, who are these French people shitting in the river? And they're French, so it's got to be
Oh,
especially bad.
stinky.
Yeah, yeah.
Oui.
All right. Well, that's the Olympics all the way down to number 9. So you just need 8 and 5, and these are going to be easier for you to guess. One is tech related. One is a celebrity.
Okay, is the tech related one related to like the iPhone?
Exactly that. iPhone 16.
Yeah.
So is it 8 or 5? You have a 50-50
5.
chance. You got it wrong. God, Alex. Is your baby ready to get on here yet? This is
I'm
bad.
off my game.
The iPhone 16. This is the 18th generation iPhone. And the first iPhone came out in 2007. So obviously they come out with new models every year, and I get it. Why wouldn't they? People keep buying them every year. I keep buying them. Well, I buy them every 2 years, but still. But at some point, it's like they're going to get to a point where nothing is new about the next model, but they'll.
I feel like they're already at that
Yeah.
point. Like, just incremental changes. I'm so disappointed with this like Apple Intelligence shit that
Mhm.
they've gone all in on. I have the new one. I got the new one
Me
this
too.
year.
Me too.
And I try to use their like little image playground thing to like make like a AI image of something, and it's just shit. I've made better stuff on ChatGPT like a year ago.
Yeah, it's a big disappointment, but that's because they're reaching. What else can they do that's new? They can only upgrade the camera so many times. And unless you're like a super photog nerd, and those people are out there, but for the average person, you're really not going to notice a difference in the quality of this camera versus 3 models ago, right?
Right.
And so then it becomes like, okay, the material of the phone. I think this one was a different material than.
Yeah, there's like titanium in it, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, fine. And beyond that, it's kind of like you're left with like better charging time, slightly faster processor, and then the new iOS, which can also be used on prior models. So I don't know I don't know.
Yeah, I do like the little feature where you can make new emojis. That is kind of neat. Now, like the AI behind it is still shit, but like I did make a kitty cat with a cowboy hat and send it as an emoji, and
Well,
that was
you haven't
pretty
sent
fun.
it to me yet, so now I'm officially angry with you.
Fuck you.
You know how much I love kitties. You know how much I love kitties wearing hats.
Mhm.
And somehow, okay. Just know that I'm storing this deep in my mind to come back to this. There will be resentment breeding there. The iPhone 16 was revealed on September 9th, the annual Apple event. That's when search traffic peaked. The UAE, Hong Kong, and Qatar were big lovers of searching for this. Some related queries we were just talking about. Apple Intelligence. iPhone 16 colors. That's the other thing they do that's new, is like, oh, there's new colors, which I personally don't care, but I guess, they got to do something. But I love this one. Another related query is the Pixel 9 Pro. So a lot of people were like, I'll get the Pixel. And I really did consider the Pixel. I think it probably is the better phone.
Really, yeah.
But I just have and this is by design, by Apple, but I have a hard time breaking up with the universe, and just like it's just
walled garden.
It's just seems like such a pain. I'll fucking deal with it next year, maybe.
Yep.
I do it every time I'm due for an upgrade. I'm like, let me look at the Pixel. It looks cool. And then I always end up sticking with the iPhone.
But how do you leave the iPhone ecosystem, right? I got the Apple Watch already. I got the iPad already. Like I got the MacBook. Like all my family has iPhones. We got iMessage going. You know, you don't want to be the one that fucks that up.
I have a piercing in my dick that's shaped like the Apple logo. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Probably got NFC on it.
I'll tell you though, that was funny. I'll tell you though that the fact, like, what do they call that? The blue text versus green text thing. Do you know what I'm talking about? What do they call that?
I know.
It's like when you're on a non-iPhone, your texts come through in a different color, and everyone know. And like,
yeah. It's SMS.
that alone is enough for me to stay on iPhone. Although I think they're maybe improving that now.
They did. They fixed that. So now they use RCS, Rich Communication Standard, which has been a thing forever, right? It's basically iMessage, but for open source for anyone to use. Apple historically did not support it, so you were stuck using SMS, which is like a very like unsecure, unencrypted communication standard. They just now, because the EU forced them to, added it. So thank the EU for that. So now when you're texting your Android friends, it still has a green bubble, but it's better than it was before because it's encrypted. You can see read receipts. You can see when they're typing.
You assume I have any Android friends. I cut those people out a long time ago.
Yeah, clearly. You don't need that dead weight.
At the European Union forced that, I assume that's only required in Europe.
Correct.
So
but I think it's just easier for them to
That's what I was going to ask, yeah.
Make it blanket. Well, it's the same thing with the USB-C. Like they wouldn't have switched to USB-C had it not been for the EU regulations. And you know, easier for them to have one model that they mass produce rather than, all right, here's the USB-C model that has to go to Europe, and then here's Lightning port for everyone else, you know?
You know, the Europeans were upset with the charging port and the text messaging like you were just talking about. Instead of going through the courts and stuff, did they try just shitting on Apple's headquarters parking lot like the French did with the river?
Take it from the French. Yeah, it's an effective strategy.
You know, it really is. All these times that people picket or go on strike or protest with signs and marching and yelling and sit-ins and stand-ins, all of that would probably be more effective if it all just led to people shitting on everything around. You know what I mean? Imagine these protests on Capitol Hill if instead of people just marching, they actually pulled down their pants and just shit all over the street. And
I'll give you one better. We should start shitting on CEOs.
I'll tell you what. If Luigi had just shit on the CEO instead of killed him, like, point would still be made, and he probably would get a little less prison time.
You're right.
Or maybe even the death penalty. Is he up for death penalty? I don't even know.
I don't even know. I think they're trying to push for it. I think they're having a hard time getting proof that it was him, though. You know? I don't know.
Look, we don't need to harp on this because I'm sure, like, Luigi's all over the news. It's all over the internet if you want to look into it. Luigi's the guy that shot which insurance company
Thompson,
is it?
The United Healthcare.
The CEO in New York in December 2024. But, you know, the way they're treating him since, all the photos, all the armed guards walking him everywhere, the multi-state manhunt that happened before they caught him, compare that to the government's response to school shootings.
Right.
Where fucking nothing happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Or if they catch the school shooter, it's like one cop is like bowling him out, right? Whereas Luigi has like a whole posse around him. Yeah.
It really is.
This fucking country, man.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so all that's left is number 5, and this is celebrity related.
Celebrity related. What country does a celebrity reside?
He's English.
He's English. Okay.
Should I say he was English?
Was English. Okay. Gosh, I don't know. You're gonna have to give me more hints, more clues.
Boy band.
Oh, that dude died from fucking, was it One Direction?
Do you know how many teenage girls listening right now, and we got a lot of them, screaming at you saying, that dude died? You mean my Liam?
Liam
Payne.
Yeah, okay, I would have never guessed that.
I am in pain at your lack of knowledge of Liam Payne.
One Direction?
Yep.
Okay.
Number 5. And we will get to his death shortly. He was an English singer and songwriter, member of the English-Irish pop band One Direction, one of the best-selling boy bands of all time, as Tennis Podcast listeners well know because of past episodes on that topic. Liam struggled with substance abuse and mental illness throughout his career. Finally, on October 16th, 2024, he died at the age of 31 after falling from a third-floor balcony at a hotel in Buenos Aires, Argentina. On October 18th, that's when search traffic peaked, October. Mm-hmm. A fan began a petition calling for Liam's Law to protect artists' mental health, which would enforce access to mental health professionals, regular mental health checks, and adequate rest periods. I just interesting, I thought. That's why I included it. Within 5 days, that petition had been signed by over 68,000 people. What do you think about that? A
Okay,
law.
so a law like that just artists are forced to go through this, or like for everybody?
According to what I copy and pasted, it said protect artists' mental health.
Okay, I mean that just sounds bullshit. Like we need broad, sweeping mental health
Nope. Best we can
reform.
do is more guns on the street.
But yeah, more guns on the street and maybe protect the artists, but not your regular people. Sure.
You got to protect the rich and famous. But look, it's a starting point, right?
Sure.
Or maybe
Sure.
it's not. Maybe I don't know. Maybe someone could make the argument like if you let into that and make that a law that protects artists, then that actually gets you further from protecting everyone. I don't know because like yeah, I don't know. We don't have to get into it, but I just thought it was interesting. And it's interesting
I'll tell
too
you
that
what I
it's
think should be a law.
yeah.
Just general therapy for everybody. I think every human being should be forced to have a check-in, a standing check-in with some sort of licensed therapist at some sort of interval.
This
You know,
sounds like leftist
I
extremism,
know,
Alex.
I know it.
Liberal
But
extremism.
if more people knew how to like, I don't know. I just started therapy like a year ago. My life has improved exponentially since then, and I'm just like, why wasn't I fucking doing this like years ago? You know, so
There's lots of reasons,
yeah.
for people like you and I who I'm in therapy as well. And a lot of it is just like who's got the time, it's a
I
hassle
get
to
it.
do it.
Yeah, I
And
get
then
it.
for the other side, it's there's a stigma attached to it for some people. Like I don't know if you've watched The Sopranos, I don't think you have, but there's a big culture around like, oh, you never go to a therapist. And I think it's going to take time. And yeah, I agree with you. Something like that would be useful. But America seems to be moving in the opposite direction of progress recently. Hopefully that changes soon. To no surprise, Liam Payne's death was huge news in Ireland and the UK, but also Australia. Listen to these related queries, though. This is how morbid this shit is. Liam Payne, TMZ body. That was the number one query.
They wanted to see his fucking body
Yep.
after. Okay.
The number two.
That's sick.
Liam Payne, body, Reddit.
Okay. I mean, fair. I often type Reddit after a search if I don't find what I'm looking for. So
Liam Payne, balcony is the other one.
okay.
Yeah. I haven't seen any pictures. I don't know a ton about this. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories for this death too, as there always is. But it just seems strange. Third floor isn't that high, but he did die. So yeah, I don't know the full details, so I won't even try. All right, these are the top 10 global top trending Google searches for the year 2024. Number 10, Catherine, Princess of Wales, aka Kate Middleton. Her searches peaked when her medical issues came out in March. Number 9 is Olympics. Number 8, iPhone 16. Number 7, India versus Bangladesh, which was a cricket match. Number 6, Donald Trump. Number 5, Liam Payne. Liam Payne beat Trump. Someone should tell Trump that to get his reaction to that. Number 4, India versus England, another cricket. Number 3, another cricket, the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Number 2, football, the UEFA European Championship. And number 1, Copa America.
That's a good list. I mean, I think that the topics on the list were a little underwhelming, but the list itself was pretty good.
I agree. And that's why I knew we'd probably move pretty quick through that because a lot of that is who gives a fuck. But I did find 2 mini lists that I think are more interesting. And we won't spend as much time on these, but I do want you to guess them still. The first one is the top 5 most Googled people of 2024 worldwide.
Okay.
Shout out some
Let me
names.
just go.
Yep,
Okay,
just go.
so Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's number 1. The whole world.
I mean, probably that Liam guy, right? No? What about the princess?
Catherine,
Gal.
Princess of Wales,
Yeah.
is number 2.
Where was Trump?
1.
Okay. Is Elon Musk up there?
No.
Okay, good.
My dog is having nightmares right now. It's
Is
sleeping.
your dog on the list?
She's like crying in her sleep. She should be. But who's an old dog that America knows well that's on the list right now?
Old Yeller?
Well, Old Yeller is being put out of his misery on January 20th. That's Joe Biden at number 5.
Oh, right. Biden, the current president that I often forget about.
And who did Trump beat?
Kamala Harris on the list as well?
Number
okay.
3. And
Very
then
American-centric list.
yeah. which was getting to your point about the election being big news. Let me
Yeah.
see. I got to look up who this person is. Number 4. Oh, this is an Algerian professional boxer. Oh, this is the one. Number 4 is Iman Khalif. This is the one that had the big transgender discourse on the internet. Remember that female boxer that people were trying to say was actually a male? And
from the Olympics?
yes.
Yeah.
And then other people were saying no, she was born female, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, isn't she like
yeah? She
from a country that would like literally kill her if
Yes.
she was trans or
she's
something?
Algerian.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says here, I'm on her
Okay.
Wikipedia. False claims that Khalif is male were fueled by her disqualification from the 2023 World Women Boxing Championships, organized by Russian-led International Boxing Association, after she allegedly failed unspecified gender eligibility tests, blah, blah, blah. Khalif was born female, and no medical evidence that she has XY chromosomes or elevated levels of testosterone have been published. So she was just basically bullied online, but that's number 4 on the top 5 people.
People are so weird. Just like, who fucking cares, you know?
Well, also, like, even if you are a person that cares, you also have no proof. And you're going to, like, die on this hill on the internet when it could blow up in your face. And it did blow up at people. I think I remember Elon Musk even tweeting about this and, like, going big on this. Yeah, here it is right here.
Oh, yeah.
Khalif filed a criminal complaint in France against multiple individuals for cyberbullying, naming J.K. Rowling and Elon Musk, among others.
Oh, right. Of course, J.K. Rowling gets lumped into that too.
Khalif said that the backlash she received harms human dignity and called for an end to bullying of athletes. Crazy, right? Like
crazy.
But
crazy world.
that whole thing was like a few days of internet chatter, and it was enough to get her number 4 on this list.
That's
top 5 people in the entire world. Well, I also want to talk about the top 5 news stories in the whole year. So what do you have for this?
U.S. selection.
U.S. selection's number 1.
Something Olympics related?
Olympics number 3.
Okay.
You're doing better on these than you did on the real list.
Yeah. iPhone coming out?
No.
Press release for the new iPhone? No?
The rest of these will be a little harder.
All right, just give them to me.
Typhoon Shanshan. I'm probably saying that wrong. Shanshan. It's spelled Shanshan. Was a powerful tropical cyclone that moved through Japan in August 2024. That is number 5 on the news list. Number 4 is another storm, although I think this one hit the U.S. Double checking. Can you name any hurricanes from this year?
Yeah, that I don't. Oh fuck, what was its name? Like Florida, or no, it went up through like Georgia.
Yes,
and like,
it was pretty bad.
Like, yeah, and then Florida got hit like a week later.
It was in October of this year. Hurricane Milton.
Maria? Oh, Milton. Yeah.
They always got to name it like how many dangerous, devastating, deadly forces in world history have been named Milton? You know,
just this one probably
sounds like a fucking accountant.
Yeah.
Milton was number 4 on the list of top 5 news searches. I'm looking now. It killed 35 people. There's still 6 people missing. It did $85 billion worth of damage. It spawned a deadly tornado outbreak, caused widespread flooding in Florida. Most intense Atlantic hurricanes. This is the 5th of all time.
Isn't it weird that as a society we like name hurricanes after people?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Like, we don't do that with tornadoes.
I don't know why.
It's not like Tornado Steven is coming on down, you know? Like, it's just such a weird little quirk that
hurricanes are named to reduce confusion and improve communication when multiple storms occur at the same time. Names help people prepare for blah, blah, blah. Before the 1950s, hurricanes were tracked by year in order of occurrence, and it was in 1979 they began... No, sorry. In 1953, the National Hurricane Center began using female names for storms in 1953 because, of course, that bitch, you know, Katrina, it's always... But finally, in 1979, they included male names, and now they alternate between the two.
That's funny.
There you go.
I guess tornadoes, too, like, they kind of come and go. You know, it's not like it's one major event that's, like, coming to fuck you. So, okay, fair. It's cute. Humans are cute.
I disagree. You just need the second biggest news story of the year. You'll never guess this one, so I'll just tell you. And it's excessive heat. What do you have to say about that?
Just like everywhere?
Let me look up the specifics on it.
I mean, the global temperature is rising, so I get it, but
Okay, so related topics: excessive heat watch, heat wave, severe heat wave alert, highest temperature in India. Yeah, so I think it was just a big year for heat.
yeah. It was fucking hot this summer. I'll give it
It
that.
was fucking hot this summer. And so that top 5 news, we had Typhoon Shanshan, the Japanese typhoon, and then Hurricane Milton at 4, number 3 Olympics, number 2 excessive heat, number 1 U.S. election. Yeah, we should probably stop, but I'll just tell for the listeners, I'll put a link in the show notes to this year in search report from Google. They have the top 10 trending searches in your country or global for all the shit we're just talking about. There's even the top 10 searches that people hum to Google, where Google tells them the song back. There's the top 10 most Googled museums on Google Maps. Like, it goes on and on. We could do this forever. So I'll stop now, but you should go check it out if you found this interesting. Alex, what do you think you Googled the most in 2024?
Probably porn related.
Yeah, well, you got to now because you can't go to Old Faithful now that it's banned in some places.
It's not banned here.
Oh, okay. Well, you would know, wouldn't you? That's another thing we'll have to do soon is we've done it twice before, the top, because Pornhub puts out their top searches of the year report every year. We'll have to do that again soon. Okay. Well, listener, I'd love to know what you thought of this list. Of course, if you're listening on Spotify, you can comment right there on the Spotify app. If you're listening outside of Spotify, let me know on social media at TennishPod. All our links are in the show notes. And of course, Alex alluded to it earlier, but we do have a members-only Discord for our TennishPod Plus members. And if you're a TennishPod Plus member and you're not in our Discord yet, please let me know.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Send me a note, tennishpod@gmail.com, and I will give you the super secret invite link so you can join. Next week, I'll be with Stephen Clark next week.
Oh.
If you want to listen to that episode with Stephen early, several days early, and with 0 ads in it, go to tennishpod.com/plus and get a free 7-day trial. You'll get all our episodes early and ad-free. Alex, how do we end this thing? What do we say to end it?
Just Google us a lot this year so we can make the list next year.
Google Tennis Podcast. That's 10 ISHP. Oh, I keep waiting for you to stop me. DCAST. And my parting advice, in addition to what Alex said, is the next time you don't want to do something, the next time someone makes you mad, just go shit in a public place. Get a bunch of friends, just start shitting. Yep. Shit in the streets like your ancestors did, all the way through all of history. All right, he's Alex. I'm Nick. Thank you for listening. See ya.
Bye.